Welcome back. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET now, and on your screen, as you can see, the world's first CNG bike, all set to be unveiled. Remember, this is coming in from Bajaj Auto, and this will be the first CNG bike ever. It's supposed to be named Freedom 125. We have Shrishti, who is there and who's been getting us those updates. The commentary coming in from the management is that the CNG motorbike will have a monolink suspension. Also, what reports were indicating that it is going to have an option of CNG as well as petrol as well. So you have to watch out for that. A big unveil that's going to be done shortly on your screens, as you can see. That is the world's first CNG bike.
Longest motorcycle seat in the world as well, 4-seater. I can't say it, but yes, you're watching out for that. The longest bike that we'll be seeing, the first CNG bike in the world that we're keeping an eye out on. And obviously, what is also there in terms of the mileage also, it's similar to that we'll be watching out from. And EV pricing expected to be at around 90,000 for the bike. While when you compare it to a petrol as well as a EV pricing, yes, the EV may be at a bit of a premium, but the petrol prices, it's, petrol is a bit cheaper, EV is at a premium. So somewhere in the middle range is what this bike pricing would be that we're watching out for. But yes, you can see it on your screens that the bike has been launched. The first CNG bike looks quite swaggy, looks nice on the screen as well. When looking at the CNG bike, first CNG bike in the world is what you're watching out for. Freedom, the ride for change is what you're seeing as at the tagline below as well. So yes, interesting move coming in there from Bajaj Auto, one of its kind, a big move for Bajaj Auto there.
All right, we are waiting for the pricing of the bike. For now, there you go on your screen. World's first CNG bike named Freedom, coming from the stable of Bajaj Auto.
To come onto the stage, along with our Managing Director, Mr. Rajiv Bajaj, and our Executive Director, Mr. Rakesh Sharma, to unveil the new Bajaj Freedom, the world's first CNG bike.
Okay, right now the visuals on your screen at the launch is what you're seeing coming in, and you can see Nitin Gadkari, Rajiv Bajaj all over there right now at the launch. I beg your pardon, at the launch there of
the world's first CNG motorcycle. They've named it Freedom. Remember, while the bike was under works, it was named as Bruiser, but that was just the code name for the bike. The bike name is now Freedom. That's the name of the bike. The Bajaj Auto has unveiled world's first CNG motorcycle, and the name of the motorcycle now is Freedom. There were reports that it would be named as Freedom 125, but the name is Freedom for the bike. Also on your screen, as you can see, it's Rajiv Bajaj. You also have Road and Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari, as well as you have Rakesh Sharma of Bajaj Auto. All of them are part of the launch right now.
Okay, that was the launch there. We saw all the visuals there of the bike, the first CNG bike. But let's move on and carry forward with all the stocks that have been buzzing in trade on the back of news flows and on the technicals. Now we have Dhwani Patel joining in with us. Dhwani, very good afternoon and thank you so much as always for joining in with us. Page Industries is what you've picked out for us as the first stock. Dhwani, what are the charts indicating for Page Industries?
Good afternoon, everyone. The charts of Page Industries are looking interesting over here. When we pull out the daily chart of this particular counter, we had seen that the stock had not been performing well. We have been seeing some underperformance coming in on this counter, but then now in today's move, the stock has crossed above its short-term moving average, making a bottom on the lower side over here at 3,800 levels. From there, we are seeing the uptick coming in on this counter. For a target on the higher side that I'm aiming for is 41,400. The stop loss that one needs to maintain on the lower side right now is of 38,700.
Right, so that's the take coming in of Page Industries. Let's put the focus on GOCL Corporation, and that particular counter is in focus. It saw a drop actually on an intraday basis, and one of the reasons or the primary reasons for this biggest drop in about 3 weeks is because Coal India has barred the unit from new orders for a period of 2 years. They're saying that the bar is due to not meeting tender conditions of stipulated local contents in supplies. However, the company has said the current contracts are unaffected and they see no immediate impact on the operations or for financials. But the stock is under pressure, 2.7% downtick right now.
Okay. That is GOCL for you all. Let's move on and talk about RVNL. This one is buzzing away in trade again. And why is that so? No doubt we are seeing one more order win that's actually come in for RVNL today, up 18% in trade. It started off and that momentum surely continued for the stock. Why is that so? Now they've signed an MOU with the Delhi Metro, and overall, this is with the Delhi Metro Rail Corporation for a participation of the upcoming projects in India as well as abroad. And on the back of this, that we are seeing that the stock has actually seen a sharp up move coming in. Also, just a couple of days back, also they had signed another order. So yes, RVNL is an interesting one to watch out for, given that the order wins are, we're seeing pouring in almost every week.
Alright, so that's all about RVNL. Let's talk about Angel One then. This particular counter is in focus in today's trading session on back of its operational performance that has come, or other business update that they usually come on a monthly basis. However, the company is given all of the morning gains. If you see, the company's average daily order surged about 86% on a year-on-year basis. That is in the quarter ended June 30th, which is up from 107% year-on-year in the month of June alone, while the gross client acquisition for the quarter was higher by about 95% or so, and higher by about 97% only in the month of June, while the average daily orders also saw an uptick on a year-on-year basis. But however, if you look at the month-on-month basis, numbers were also looking pretty good, but not that much of a jump on a month-on-month basis. The stock right now has given up most of its morning gains.
Okay, let's move on. And Dhwani, the next stock on technicals is Swan Energy. Today locked in upper circuit. Last 1 month has been an interesting move, right? 20% uptick almost in the last 1 month. More of an upside or more upper circuits is what we're expecting here.
Yes, absolutely. The stock has given a breakout of a triangular formation over here on the daily charts, and the volumes are also decently picking up in this particular counter. Overall, technically, you're seeing that the RSI is also giving a positive crossover, and over and above that, the momentum indicators are also moving above the 25 range, which is indicating that the momentum is yet to continue further on the higher side. From current levels, one can go long into it. Now that it's locked into upper circuit, we'll have to look out for the next session opening up on Monday, but you can definitely get into this particular counter. On the higher side, the targets that I'm expecting in this one are at 765 positionally, and the stop loss that one needs to maintain on the lower side is of 615.
Alright, so that is about Swan Energy. Let's talk about Raymond then, Gaurav, and we've spoken about the PSU banking index, the PSU defense stock and railway stock, but Raymond, look at this particular counter, has been soaring, and today as well, a spectacular rise coming in for the counter. What's actually helping them reach these elevated levels?
Well, yes, Raymond is in focus, and this is on the back of the demerger that they're doing. So what Raymond is doing is now they are going to demerge their real estate segment. The new company will be formed as Raymond Realty Limited, and this new entity will be listed on the exchange. Talking about the company's plan, they are going to issue around 6.65 crore shares with a face value of 10 rupees each. And if we talk about the ratio, Raymond Limited's each shareholder will get 1 share of Raymond Real Estate as well. Now coming to the Raymond Real Estate, if you look at some of the stats, the company had turnover of around 1500 crore rupees, and it contributed around 24% of the total revenue for Raymond Limited. Now this demerger will actually exploit the new growth opportunities for Raymond Real Estate, and apart from that, they also unlock the value for the company. If we talk about the land bank, they already has around 100 acres of the land in Thane worth 11.4 million square feet. If we talk about other opportunities also, they have 5 ongoing projects worth 9,000 crore rupees. They have signed 3 new JDAs in Mahim, Sion and Bandra. And we also got a chance to speak with management, Mr. Amit Agrawal, who is a group CFO from Raymond. He also has given some kind of positive outlook when we talk about the business. So let's tune into it and listen to what management has to say about this overall business segment.
I think that ability for us to get more JDA projects is very, very clearly visible. And we are on the close contact with the various people. And I think few more JDAs would get signed. And any JDA you sign, it will take 12 to 15 months to start. So I think in the next 3 to 4 years, what we are talking is easily a 4,000 crore revenue model with a 25% of EBITDA and a 25% IRR. So I think that is a very clear thought process with which we are working. As far as the challenge of the business is concerned, there are so many projects available to us that we are not seeing any dearth. As far as liquidity, which becomes another big question mark, I think we are uniquely positioned that we have a significant amount of cash available for us to execute the project. And because of the philosophy that we work with, that sell fast, build fast and collect fast, that enables a very small amount of working capital which is required in order to grow the business at a phenomenal pace.
Okay, on that note, we're going to slip into a very short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more stocks after the break.
Welcome back. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET now, and let's shift focus. Let's talk about Bajaj projects, because this particular counter has seen really sharp rise in trade today. There you go, 8% uptick coming in for Bajaj projects, and the reason being for that is that there has been a brokerage note that's come out in the stocks on the stock today. You have a note that has come out from Arihant Capital, where they have gone ahead and given a buy rating on the counter. They've set a target price between 430 to 460 rupees per share. They've also set a stop loss at around 250 rupees per share. So on back of that, you can see Bajaj projects are actually seeing a good up move in a trade today.
Okay, keeping an eye on Bajaj projects. Let's move on, talk about Ahluwalia Contractors. That stock also zoomed away in trade today. At one point of time, it was up as much as 18%, hit fresh record high levels. And why was the stock buzzing in trade? This came in after the company announced that it has secured an order worth around 572 crores. This is from the Airport Authority of India. Now, what furthermore they highlighted is that the work that they'll be doing will be towards the development of the new civil enclave at the airport, which will be in Bihar. So yes, on the back of that, we're keeping an eye out on Ahluwalia Contractors as of now, holding on to gains of almost 14% in trade.
All right, Dhwani, let's talk about IRCTC. How is this one looking on the charts to you? Railway PSUs are definitely seeing a sharp rise in trade today. IRCTC, what's your take?
Definitely the charts on the railways are definitely attractive over here. Yesterday on the same show we had highlighted rides over there, and the stock is gaining with standing with about 5% of gains. IRCTC is also on the same run up in today's session. We are seeing that the stock has formed a base around on the bottom side at 980 levels, from where we are seeing the uptick coming in. 1000 is acting out as a good base formation over here, 1000 to 980. On the higher side, I'm targeting for 1100 in this particular counter, and a stop loss that has to be maintained on the lower side is going to be of 995.
All right, let's talk about Titan then. Among the top losers on the Nifty today, one side you have HDFC Bank that's sulking in trade. Also, you have now Titan that is actually seeing a sharp decline in trade today, and that's because Kotak has come out with a note where they downgraded the stock to reduce rating from an ad rating. They've also cut the target price to about 3,075 rupees per share from 3,600 rupees per share. What Kotak believes is that the competitive intensity could rise further with the launch of ABG's novel jewels. Remember, the Aditya Birla Group is also entering the retail jewelry segment, and that also could be a threat coming in for Titan. What Kotak is also saying, the lab-grown diamonds are likely to weigh on the studded diamond growth, and also the multiple margin headwinds and risk reward looks very unfavorable for Titan. Therefore, they've gone ahead and cut their FY25-27 EPS estimate by 5 to 6%, which is now about 10 to 12% below the consensus estimate. So that's the Titan for you, where Kotak has given a downgrade, cut the target price, and also saying the risk reward is not looking that favorable for the counter.
Okay, let's move on. And Gaurav, you've picked out a couple of banks for us on the back of Q1 updates. Which are these banks, and how was the update looking like?
Well, yes, we have got a couple of banks from the Q1 updates this day. And when we talk about some banks, first let's talk about some of the small finance banks. So first let's begin with Ujjivan Small Finance Bank, where if you look at the numbers, advances grew almost by 18.8%, deposits grew almost by 21.9%. But if you look at the stock performance, the bank actually struggled to perform after the Q1 updates. And the result, the reason being that we already saw that the management recently came and cut the guidance for FY25. And that is the reason why they have met the guidance for Q1 FY25. Earlier, the guidance was a loan book growth of 25%, but now they have cut down to 20%. Let's not forget that they have also increased the credit cost guidance to 1.7% versus what it was at 1.4%. So definitely watching out on this counter. Next we have is Capital Small Finance Bank. There also we saw a muted growth. Let's not forget that the bank has a small base, and on back of this they have grown the advances at 15.8%, while the deposits grew only by 10.1%. There also we saw some kind of pressure coming up in the stock performance. Apart from that, we also have some PSU banks which are performing well today. First, let's talk about PNB on the back of the Q1 updates, because if you look at advances that grew almost by 12%, which was in line with the management's expectation. Deposit growth was a little muted. It was in a single digit at 8.1%. But again, as a PSU bank, it has higher CD ratio, which is credit to deposit ratio, and that is why we saw this stock increase in trade today. And lastly, let's also watch out for UCO Bank, because this bank also came up with a strong advances growth of around 18%, and there also we saw a deposit growth of around 5.8%. But again, with a high CD ratio, we saw this bank is also performing well in a trade today. So definitely watching out on these counters on the back of the Q1 update.
Keeping an eye out on those counters, but we have Mandra Life Spaces that is also in focus today. Now they've actually managed to close 2 real estate deals, and they're worth around 2,050 crore rupees. Mumbai and Bangalore is what we're talking about. So yes, in terms of the infrastructure development, they've said that 2 deals, gross development value, like I mentioned, is 2,050 crore rupees. This came in as an announcement yesterday. This is a strategic move that includes securing the third redevelopment project that we are keeping an eye out on in Mumbai from the company, as well as they're acquiring a prime land parcel in Bangalore as well. So yes, in Mumbai, they backed the redevelopment project that you're looking at. It is a residential society, 7 residential societies in Borivali West neighborhood. The gross development value for that is 1,800 crores, while in South Bangalore, they have picked out a 2.37 crore acre land which they're watching out for, and the value of that is 250 crores. So 2 deals that came in, and that's the total value is 2,050 crores. Because of that, we're seeing the stock is managing to hold on to gains of 2% even as of now.
All right, let's talk about restaurants brand Asia, and that particular counter is seeing a good up move in trade today, and it saw a rise of as much as 4.6% last time I checked. There you go, hovering around the 4% mark. That is about restaurants brand Asia. Remember, it's the Burger King's India operator. One of the reasons why it's buzzing is because today it saw a block deal of about 20 lakh shares, but apart from that, also around 0.92% stake was bought by HDFC Mutual Fund in a bulk deal on July 4th. And on back of that, you saw the stock actually see a good up move today. It's in fact the third consecutive trading session that restaurants brand Asia is actually seeing a sharp up move. So watch out for this one.
Surely keeping an eye on that. Let's move on, talk about Macrotech Developers, and Dhwani, this one has doubled in the last 1 year. Do you still expect an up move to continue for this real estate?
Yes, absolutely. The charts are interesting over here on this particular counter, since we've seen that the consolidation breakout that came in above the 1300 mark. The stock has been trading above its 20-period exponential moving average on a daily chart, and also the volumes are a little subdued over here in this particular counter as of now, but I do see that once we cross 1550 to 1560 mark over here, the momentum will be there on the higher side. One can keep it up for a medium term period over here, keeping a stop loss on the lower side at 1440, and for a higher side I'm targeting over here from current levels at 1600 and then 1650 followed after that.
Okay, surely keeping an eye on that. Let's move on to the next stock. Ramco Cements is what we are going to be talking about. Now, Antique has come out with a note on Ramco Cements where they've downgraded the stock to a hold and cut the target price to 840 rupees per share from previous target price of 1000 rupees per share. What they are saying that the company's Q4 realization is to around a 4-year low of less than around 4,900 per ton, may not improve meaningfully in the near term is what Antique is highlighting. Other than that, they believe that the South region utilization, currently 65%, is unlikely to continue and will fall below that 55% mark or be below that 55%, around the 55% mark, and it's nor is it going to cross that 85% mark, so we're keeping an eye on that. They've cut their FY25 to FY27 EBITDA also by 5 to 8%. Lower target multiple at around 12 times is what they're anticipating. Profitability is not expected to improve meaningfully is the highlight that is coming in from Antique on Ramco Cement. So yes, that's why the stock is downgrading at the day's lowest point.
Alright, so that's all about Ramco Cements. What about HUL, Dhwani? How is this one looking at the charts to you now? Attractive bet in the FMCG player?
Yes, absolutely. This is one of the counters that has been in focus for me since the start of this particular month. We've seen that the stock on the bottom side took in support near its 200 EMA and has been trading higher into the session. We are also seeing that the stock has taken prices above its simple moving averages of 20 and 50 on the daily chart. So quite a promising setup over here on the bullish side. Positionally, one can hold on to it. And on the short-term basis, I'm targeting 2600 as a target on the higher side. Post 2600, we'll see further rally continuing till 2670. On the lower side, the stop loss that one needs to maintain in this particular counter is of 2495, which is also the open low of today.
Alright, let's just quickly mark Shilpa Medicare because that particular counter is seeing a sharp up move. It's hit its highest level since 2021, and the reason being for that pharma company has said that there is a Unicyve Therapeutics which has reported a positive result of the company's trial of OLC drug, which is used in one of the kidney therapeutic treatments. So on back of that, you're seeing the stock actually see a sharp up move, positive reports coming in for their drugs, so for their drug trials. So Shilpa Medicare, keep that one in focus, Vinny.
Absolutely, but that was the last stock for today. So thank you so much, Dhwani, for joining in with us as well as Gaurav. And with that, it's a goodbye from Cheryl, myself, as well as the team who put this show together.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.